All right, welcome to McBoss Capital channel. This is the week ending January 19th, but today is Saturday. Uh, and my name is Michael, and I'm with Sunil. And we're going to talk stock and recap this week. So let me just bring up the index chart while we talk about this. You can look at S&P as probably better. So yeah, on hindsight, we started out the week like kind of because it's only 4 days week in the US, so it started out really weak, and you can see it bounced off the 21-day line on S&P. Um, it closed near the top, but it's still 2 days of negative. So at that time, probably a lot of people are nervous. And then Thursday it rebounded, and then Friday it was a really strong finish, and we got into new high territory for S&P. This is all-time high. It actually surpassed. I think this was January of of 2022 high. So it's more than 2 years basically. Most people call it the bear market, right? So yeah, it's been a long time coming, and this is really really exciting because this could mean the bull market has started. Um, for Nasdaq, very similar chart. The only difference is it hasn't made an all-time high. It's around 16,200, and yeah, we're not that far away, 15,310. So from that perspective, Nasdaq is lagging. Um, And then we have Dow that's already surpassed the all-time high since the beginning of the year. So, actually, that was like December, late December. And also Friday, it make a all-time high as well. So, very good news for all the major indexes. I think investors may start to lean more bullish now. Of course, there's going to be more choppiness as we move ahead and figure out what's going to happen with the Fed and so forth. But the fact that the indexes can close at all-time highs this week without major news, and also with the 10-year yield going up, which is another interesting story. I'm just going to jump to it right away. And you can see 10-year yield is coming back up to the 10-week moving average. But yet, like I said, the market didn't really pay attention to this week. 4 days up in a row. Friday it did kind of close at the low range, but still, it didn't deter the market from making new highs. So to me, this is really good news because for a long time, this was acting correlating like the opposite, like a counter trend to the major index. So this tells me that the market care less about the rate of where the yield is. It knows the Fed is going to cut rates this year. That's what it cares about, not so much what the actual rate is. So we keep having this. If you're watching CNBC or the media, you keep hearing, oh, is it 3 cuts? Is it 4 cuts? Is it 5 cuts? Is it 6 cuts? I think the market doesn't care because the trend is we heading lower, and that's what the market cares about, and that's why we're hitting these highs, new highs. Last week I mentioned, at the end of the meeting, I said, if the market can close strong this week without any major news, to me that's bullish, right? Because why would the market close strong this week without any news? Why would the market take that risk, right? Take that risk on. And we're seeing that right now. Now, the only caveat is the small cap Russell, right? And I have a very diversified portfolio, and I've been struggling this year so far. So because a lot of my stocks are small caps, and look at what the small caps are doing. They're on the downtrend. Even after Friday, it's still on the downtrend. So So that being said, my portfolio hasn't done well this year compared to the other indexes, right? because my portfolio is more diversified, and hence I have more small caps. So I'm weighted more towards the small caps. And this is what's happening with the Russell. So Russell is way underperforming. Um, so will this change? I have no idea. I hope this is the lows right here. It has tested. The good thing is 3 days it closed at the top. So now we just need to pass this downtrend. If it comes out of this downtrend, we could see this kind of rally. November, December rally again, very strong, right? For the small cap, probably outperform the other indexes. If this breaks through, we could see very similar rally. Because so many of the small caps have been hitting, so has corrected way more than probably they should. Um, and then we'll talk about the large caps as well. They're definitely doing much better, a lot better, because a lot of them are hitting new highs as well. So that's where things are at. Um, all right, so we'll take a look at the recap this week on news. So retail sales came in like at 0.6%, which is above 0.4% estimate. And excluding auto and retail sales were rose 4.4%, which is also better than 0.2%. So this is a really good sign for the retail sector. Um, Things are definitely not as weak, and so again, this always sparked the conversation where the Fed need to cut as much, right? Um, then we have Christopher Waller, one of the Federal Reserve guy, came out and say same basically the odds of a rate cut is not certain for sure in March, right? And then the market react to it, right? So that's when that day it kind of, I think it gapped down a little bit, and then it did bounce closer to the top of the range, but it's still a down day. On Thursday, again, we have really strong action in chip stocks. Um, you know, Even though the yields again continue to go up, right? So we saw that earlier. Jobless claims fell to 187. Again, really strong number, lowest level in 16 months. Uh, Beat the expectation. So again, the labor market is so strong. It also keeps, you know, telling the story where the Fed needs to cut. And then the housing starts. Probably this is a negative number. It was lower than the one. Um, yeah, 1.46 is lower, but the building permits went up to 1.495. So this one's above estimate. So that's kind of there's a balance of good and bad news there. On Friday, we'll look at the chart, the intraday chart, but the market definitely hit an all-time peak on Friday, closing high as well. Um, yeah, and Nasdaq, Nasdaq 100 also hit a new record high. So the weighted cap index. Um, so Nasdaq has risen 11 out of the past 12 weeks, uh, and it's above the 21-day moving average. Um, the pullback is definitely over for the major indexes, um, except for Russell. And yeah, so let's look at the weighted cap for a second. So RSP, that's the S&P equal weight. You can see it's been on a downtrend. It's still on a downtrend. So um, hopefully Friday wasn't a one-day thing. Because you can see it's on a downtrend, and who knows, right? It could come back down to the 50-day. So something to be aware of. The equal weight is so important, right? Because um, if the market is only led by not many stocks, then, and this is what it's telling us, right? The RSP is telling us that, hey, the market is not that strong overall when you consider every stock equal weighted. But when you talk about the very weighted guys, like the large cap guys are doing well right now, and they're weighted, obviously they're gonna propel, like Nasdaq 100 QQQ to all-time high, right? So this is very strong action, right? So this is an all-time high, and And so yeah, if you want to play the weighted index, then this would be the one, and they're definitely showing the leadership right now, right? So um, and then we go to the equal weight on QQQ. Surprisingly, this one, also break out to new high. So the definitely the tech stocks. Actually, this is not all time high yet, but it is. It did break out to high, new high. But yeah, so at least this one looks slightly better, right, than S&P equal weight. So there's more, and we will see. We'll show you some of the accumulation later numbers to show you that yeah, the techs are leading right now. But again, we need to see this equal weight continue to get stronger so that more stocks will participate um, on the tech side, right? So we are seeing that. It's just that we need to broaden, to continue to broaden. So one of the things my portfolio has been struggling with is the fact that, I don't usually, one of my rules is I don't buy if the market can make new high, or at least my portfolio can make new high. Because I'm only going to put more money to work if my portfolio is acting well. And because I have a very diversified portfolio, um, that usually gives me a good sense of the broad market. Now, again, I'm not going to outperform the market if the market is going to lead by, just some of the large cap stocks only, right? Just like last year. So obviously I underperform it. But when we have a true bull market, we should have a broad market participation. So until then, I don't want to lean super bullish, right? And we still want to see that happen. Now, but the good thing, like I said, is because S&P make new high, it can give you that sense of optimism now that maybe, the broad participation is going to start to happen. And it may take some time, right? It's not going to be like, oh, all of a sudden every stock's just going to keep going up every day, right? Like, but we're going to see, more and more stocks starting to move up. And that's how, it's kind of like, say, November, December was a good example of that. Like almost every stock went up, like a good majority of them. So like you don't have to be the best stock picker. You can still make good money. And that's the kind of bull market we want to see. Now, will we see that before the Fed cut rates? Who knows, right? And maybe that will be the catalyst, right? Maybe that will be the day when Fed do cut in March, and they do say that they're gonna keep cutting rates for the rest of the year, you know, or even if they see, like, I think the key is if it starts in March, because I think so many people are saying even now that it might not cut in March. So if they do start cutting in March, that confirms that the Fed is ready to help the market, right? To help the economy in the sense of like, getting the yields much lower. So then yeah, so then people can borrow money at a cheaper rate to for their businesses and stuff. But yeah, coming back to what I've been seeing is the market. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Tuesday, it gaps down, right? And then it starts to move up. But you can see, within the first hour, it barely closed above, right? And then on Wednesday, it gapped down. So 2 days of gap down. Again, if you wait the first hour or so, you didn't really move much. Like, I mean, it did close at the end of the day, so slightly better. But it wasn't like, oh, a big move, right? So we continue to see this market opens, this 2 days it open weak, but it closes kind of flat. On Thursday, yeah, if you draw a line around the hour mark, you can see it got a little bit better, right? And then Friday, you see this is exactly what you want to see. Open in the first hour and look at where it closed. Really strong close, right? So this is the kind of days that we want to see more in the bull market. We haven't got this as much. So we have one day this week and 2 days here if you count this one. So we want to see more actions like this, right? And that will make me lean more bullish and putting more money to work. Let's look at the US dollar. So we saw the yield has been coming up, and go to daily chart. The dollar also have been going up, right? And you can see, uh, it kind of go up sideways and then go up, and now it's going sideways again. So it looks like the dollar is starting to gain strength here. We have the yield gaining strength. We have the dollar gaining strength. And then we also have oil price not really weakening too much, but it is on the downtrend for sure. So, but look at what it's doing lately, right? It kind of not wanting to go down anymore. Like, look at how many times it tried to go down, it couldn't, right? So now we are stuck in this pendant type of formation here. On Friday, you can see it tried to come out, but it's just closed exactly where it should be on the downtrend line. So you can see here, like it tried to go through the bottom range here, it couldn't, it closed at the top. So the market still were undecided where oil price is, but the dollar is also, like I said, is getting stronger. And they tend to correlate, the oil price and the dollar, because the oil price are based on dollars, right? So, but like I said, the fact that market, again, this is bullish to me, because when the market can make new highs despite the strength in the dollar, in the yield, and even in the oil price, like, I mean, it's not going up higher, but it's not going down any lower. So, let's see what will happen, right? Like like what should happen probably if the market is going to turn really bullish is this will continue downtrend here, and then we should see the dollar also found resistance here, eventually give up and come back down, right? This downtrend is pretty severe right now, so it makes sense that it has come back up, but you can see the 50-day slope, you can see the 21-day slope. I mean, it's still a very big downtrend. And then we come back to the yield, same thing, right? This is a big downtrend, but again, the key thing is the 50-day line here. It did find resistance. So will this go back down? That's what you would expect if everything's supposed to play out like how the market wants it to be. So to me, like I said, market is acting very bullish despite all this rising, or at least holding, and if it does go back down, I would say risk on big time, and we should see Russell start to pick up. That's probably the ultimate sign to me right now. If the market is super bullish, once Russell start to move, I should be going all in pretty soon, because this is to me, this is like the kryptonite right here. Like it's been hold down, and this is a pretty severe correction too. So let's see. And Jim Ropel said many times, if this thing, this is gonna be the last index to come up, and so it is. And if it does bounce back and get out here, I mean, this is like risk on big time. So we're waiting for that moment, and we'll see if it happens. This run right here is so drastic, right? It undercut all the lows here, and then it also went above all the highs here. So to me, this like almost like a candlestick kind of thing, right? Like Jim Ropel used the word engulf. It engulfed the whole range, and so and now it pulled back. Like this is not a big pullback when you look at this run right here. It's not even probably 1/3, right? So it's if it does bounce from here, this is a really bullish sign. So like I said, I haven't given up on small caps. I think they will have their days, but maybe it's coming. So something to consider. So next week, again, more earnings. Tesla, big one. We'll look at the chart in a second. ServiceNow, Netflix, Intel, ASML, So lots of chip stocks, LRCX, Clark, DR Horton, PCAR, URI. These are some of the growth names. And we have U.S. Purchase Manager Index come out on Wednesday. We have GDP reading come out Thursday. So the GDP reading, let's go look at where is it? The Atlanta Fed one. It's at 2.4% right now, based on their estimate. So that's pretty strong, right? Like it's not like 5% like last quarter, but it's 2% is pretty good. I think they're expecting so if you look at the calendar median forecast here, 1.7%. So if it comes above this, I think market will be pretty bullish. Again, like if you're struggling between the two, like if you listen to media is struggling between the two, like you have good economy, good data coming out, but then the Fed's gonna cut less rates. So what, right? Again, this is what I've been trying to say. It's like it doesn't matter because we are heading back to a strong economy. We continue to have a strong economy, and despite raising rates for so long, it's still strong economy. It's a good sign actually. It's like a very bullish sign because the Fed, as long as inflation, is continue to be tame around this level, I think the Fed is super happy, right? Like even at the 3% level, like yes, they want to go to 2% in the long term, but even at 3%, I think like as long as it can hold that level, that's the key. I think the market will do just fine. Of course, any hiccup around that inflation number around 3% is gonna shake the market, and that's when you're gonna see the pullbacks or even maybe even close to a bigger correction like 10%. But right now, market is moving ahead, making new highs. They're not worried about this right now, so I don't think anyone should let that um, you know kind of make them not want to buy anything, right? So yeah, we'll look. Yeah, the Fed obviously this week, like um, because of all these good numbers, you can see March right now, market has not priced in a cut rate no more. So it has gone from 70% cut last week to now no cutting because 52% is saying that they won't cut no more. So, you know, that's a funny thing. Even with this happening, right? The market price in this right now, yet the market making new high, right? So if you let those things worry you, the macros worry you right now, you're gonna miss out on this whole rally, right? So so in May, yes, they will cut 50%. So even that is not that high, right? Even in May. So but it is still a cut. So that's what the market pricing right now for a cut in May. June, yes, another cut. So probably it will be, continue to cut there. Yeah, it'll continue to cut. So yeah, coming back to my notes here. Um, so we have personal consumption expenditure price index on Friday. So the key number here I think they're looking at is the core PCE. It's seen rising 3%. So Friday, right here, core PC. So that's the number to watch. So it's supposed to drop, you see. So if it does drop to 3%, I think market will be happy, because that's the core number, right? That's the one the Fed cares about most, excluding energy and other stuff. Some of the things that are more volatile. I think food, right? So yeah, let's see if that happens. I think that's Friday, so we could end up with another strong Friday if that happens. I think. So all right, we're gonna jump to let's finish with some of the sentiment stuff here as well. Let's see. So we at grid level according to CNN index. You can see it was extreme greed, came back down, go up a little bit, came back down. Now we're coming back up a little bit. So we not super greedy yet, but we're definitely at the greed level. This one, is, interesting. It dropped quite 8 points this week on the AAII survey. So the bullish sentiment dropped 8 points, and the bearish sentiment went up 4%. So this is as of Wednesday, right? So Thursday and Friday, what happened? It bounced, right? So the sentiment got so bearish all of a sudden that it bounced on Thursday and Friday. So that's very interesting. So on Tuesday, the market, so IB signal is still in confirmed uptrend, but on Tuesday we had a distribution day, a minor distribution day. It wasn't a severe drop day, but it was still some selling. So that puts Nasdaq at 3 distribution days and 5 for S&P. So yeah, we definitely started out the week really weak, not so good. And you can see there was no accumulation in like any sectors. Net accumulation. And then Wednesday was really interesting, right? That's when I say when it closes near the top of the range. And so it didn't, and the volume wasn't there to support it. So it wasn't a distribution day. So that was like, oh, interesting. I was surprised because Wednesday's gap down was pretty strong. And so let me just come back to the chart. I just want to confirm this. So go to daily chart on the Nasdaq, and on Wednesday, right? You see the volume is much lower, right? And then we go compared to Tuesday and S&P, like every time you see a gap down, a strong gap down, you would expect volume to to jump, right? But it didn't, right? On both index.
Mm-hmm.
So the selling may be a little bit exhausted there. Again, especially on the gap down. So I was surprised when that happened, that there's not enough volume to create another distribution day. And then we start to bounce on Thursday and Friday. So by Friday, you can see we still have more distribution than accumulation on in terms of number of stocks. But on the industry group, we saw more groups performing better. And then on the sector side, we're starting to see the techs come out, right? So this is really good. This is the highest level in like weeks, man. So yeah, the 49, the highest since December 22nd. So this is really good. And then the other area that somewhat doing better also is the financial. So I got into some financials as well on Friday. Um, we'll talk about that in a minute. The one of the things that we constantly been talking about for this pullback since the beginning of the year is this, advanced decline line, right? And the number of advances continue to drop, while the decline is much higher. Now on Friday, you can see the number here: 1,620 stocks up versus 699 stocks down. So this is the first time, this is a pretty good ratio, 2-to-1 ratio. And you can see Thursday and Friday it bounced back. This is S&P advanced decline line. So now it's definitely underperforming the index. You can see the index, we know it make new high, but where is this advanced decline line, right? It's still near the bottom. So, the market breadth is still very weak. We need to see broad participation. We need to see broader. If it'll make it easier to make money. And then you can see the the Nasdaq. See the Nasdaq. I mean, it's better. It's not quite 2-to-1 ratio, but on the chart you can see it just doesn't look strong at all, right? It's still near the bottom. So despite what the the chip sector doing well this week and all this stuff, you can see it still looks very weak. So hopefully it'll get better. And yeah. So this group in this semiconductor group, right, is probably one of the strongest here for sure. 8% up this week. Broke to pretty much all-time high, and this is a nice pattern, right? This is a monthly chart though, so a long cup and handle. It's been correcting for 2 years, and now it's moving fast. This is the slope on the monthly chart. Come back to weekly chart, same thing. It's a 45-degree angle slope. Now it might be a little bit extended right now because it's at the top of the range, but yeah, it is acting really strong. Um, yeah, so it bounced off right here, and part of the good news is Taiwan Semiconductor, TSM, uh, really came out this week. Look at those volume, humongous volume, and that really helped the chip sector. Um, and then we have Friday, SMCI also broke out, you know, um, kind of related to chip sector because they provide the servers for those chips. So and it just they raised their guidance on preliminary results, and that propelled a 35% run on Friday. This is you know very choppy base, but recently you see higher highs, higher lows, and then here the most recent fell breakout. It couldn't break out right here. Same thing, higher highs, higher lows, and then this news came out and it just took off. So now it broke through. Now it's on a new high, and this stock, definitely a very strong stock since last year. And then it built this long, long, long base. So a lot of people got chopped up here if you're trying to get in here. Um, and then, like I said, so this stock, you know, it's a really it's not a young stock. It's been since '07, and this is really it start really making headway like when everything was like going down, right? Like 2022 was the bear market time, and still it was able to perform. And now it's starting to look really strong. So this could be one of the strongest leader in this market. Um, and so we'll see whether I don't expect it to go up straight line, obviously. So right now the 45-degree angle on the 10 and 21 day line, it might come back to here, or best case scenario is it goes sideways a little bit and then wait for the 10-day to come up. But don't be surprised if it come up down hard as well. So something like that will probably happen. Yeah, unless they're gonna keep coming up with more news, then it may do a climax run. But those usually require more news for it to go up higher. So let's stay on the theme of the chip guys, Nvidia. So we're gonna talk about the Mag 7. Nvidia really have run for the money right now. It broke out, and this is probably a really strong uptrend. I mean, this is almost not quite 45, but pretty close to it. 45-degree angle slope, and right now you can see it even trying to again the upper channel line right now might be a little bit extended, but it's already pretty close to 20% gain, right? Like 18% from the pivot point. So something to watch. Volume is really, really high in the last week, or slow, like almost 2 weeks. So and this is one of the stocks that really didn't pull back as much as many. Again, the large cap has been doing much better. Um, so Nvidia is definitely really strong right now. Let's look at Microsoft. Also, the AI theme, may be coming back. So something to watch out for because Nvidia has been leading. Microsoft, I think everyone's gonna try to figure out whether they can sell the Copilot software, which is AI related, since November. So depending on what their forecasts look like and what the actual numbers are, this, Microsoft could have, it's not that strong right now. The slope is like almost 45, similar to Nvidia. but it's still a pretty good breakout so far. Um, yeah, it's not as strong as Nvidia, but like I said, it's still a good breakout. It's a nice chart. Um, so the volume, it's okay. There's less on the selling side, but the buying side, it's not as high as I wanted to see, compared to Nvidia. But I think, like I said, everyone's waiting for those numbers. And if Microsoft does well on, I don't know what will happen, overall, right? Like if AI does well, but then other areas of the company doesn't do as well, or or vice versa, if the other areas of the company do well, but AI wasn't as strong as they had hoped. Um, but anyhow, it is moving up, not as fast as Nvidia, but it still broke out and moving up. So I think a lot of it will depend on what's going to come out from the earnings. But it has broken out even before the market did. So that's, to me, that's always a good sign when the stock breaks out before the market did, because that shows leadership, right? And yeah, so that's that one. And then Meta also did really well this week. Came out on Friday with the news that they will buy more Nvidia chips and they will invest heavily. So that helps Nvidia. But look at this, bounce off 10-day line and then hit new high in 2 days, right? So really strong technical strength. Again, the slope is pretty strong as well. This is almost 18% from this pivot right here. Now this, obviously this has been a long ascending base as well. This is the base it's counting from. So it hasn't moved a lot in a fast pace, but it did go up. And now, like I said, once it came out of this ascending base, it has moved faster. So, and then Google, yeah, surprisingly, Google, also came out. So it broke out here and then it pulled back, and then now it found support now at the 10-21 day, and then now it's hitting new high, right? So again, the slope is pretty strong. So all these big caps are, pretty much why they're leading the market. Okay, so this one is not all-time high, getting closer and closer. Um, so yeah, so it's getting there. Amazon. So Amazon, it hasn't made new high this week, which is a little bit disappointing. So this one is definitely not as strong as the ones we just saw, but nonetheless, it's at least it's not doing bad, right? So yeah. So then we go to Apple. Apple, was under lots of distribution the last few weeks, right? And I think the news was that they will sell the Apple Watch without the oxygen pattern issue. And so that day it jumped so much. I think it was, oh, it's only 3%. I thought it was more. 3% day. Okay. But the volume, you can see, investors like the news, and look at it now. It's now above 50-day, and um, looks like the route is over. It might be on starting a new trend. Yeah. Now we have the last one, Tesla. Tesla continues downtrend. We're getting closer and closer to this bottom here, which is like 194. Probably even by the 200 level, I think it'll be interesting to see whether it will gap below this 194 or whether it will hold this 194 level. So yeah, it will be very negative if it gap below it and doesn't close like on the rebound or something, because the next level is like 169, 160, 152, right? This range. So that's really far, much lower. So yeah, um, I don't like this stock at all right now. Like, I know some IB traders are shorting this. Um, you have to understand the market, like the QQQ, the Nasdaq, they're all doing well, and this stock is going the opposite. So what happens if the market don't do well? Like it's gonna make it even worse, right? So um
Mhm.
yeah, so if this can even move, like look at this buying power. There's no buying, like the lowest volume day is on the buy side. Look at that, right? And then even this week, the lowest volume on Friday on the buy side again. This is really, really bad, right? Like technically, this is as bad as you can get, other than a big like down job, right? Um, so I would be very cautious of this stock. Um, one of the traders said on IBD, like probably not the best time to short this stock because everything else is moving. Most of other growth leaders are moving up, so that's why you never know. Like maybe it'll come up with good news and then it'll bounce back, right? That's what probably everyone hope. But the way it's acting right now is almost like no one even think anything will come up. Like no one even speculating. That's how bad this look right now on the volume side. So there's few stocks here we'll go through that was highlighted in the newspaper. Um, Datadog, really strong. Top dog in the industry, that was the title of the article. Um, you can see it has this huge base. And then it finally came out. And then right here, it couldn't move higher. And then it fell back down to the 50-day. So, and then it bounced off this 50-day. So that's the good news. So it found support. Now we're at
Mhm.
new highs. It's a nice, I think like this week would be a good opportunity to add to this stock or buy into this stock. The numbers are, pretty good, right? You can see here. Um, so yeah, and it's breaking out, so looks really good. Us rating at new highs. I mean, this is the
Mhm.
highest in like a long time. So yeah, this is the 18-month line. So it has no more resistance. So it could fly pretty fast now if things work out. So uh looking really really strong. Now the article was Intel software firm taps into growth. So let's look at the chart here. So this is the huge run before the correction, the bear market correction, and it's a huge correction. This is one of the deepest cup I've seen. How many percent? 39%. So it's actually okay. I mean,
Mhm.
for a bear market, that's not actually not too bad. And again, why I bring this up, because I remember this stock. It was running like crazy before. Now look at these numbers, right? It's starting to not only turn positive, but it's moving up pretty fast, right? 1 cent, 3 cent, 3 cent, 4 cent, 6 cents. Now this is still a small cap company. Again, the small cap has been underperforming, but who knows? Things could turn around. We'll see. And this is one of them. Um, and the slope looks like this. It hasn't really broke out yet from the previous base. So there's obviously going to be more risk. But if you look at this one as a smaller base in here, like it's like a flat base, then yeah, then it has broken out from here. So some of the travel stocks are still doing well. Um, I don't follow Ryanair, but I do follow RCL, MMYT, and PKNG. So let's take a look. So let's look at RCL first, because that's the one on high on my list. So we have this really nice cup base. It has this nice run, and then it pulled back to the 21-day. And it's trading really tight after that. And then now it's starting to move again. So the slope looks pretty good. The 50 days coming up nicely, and the 200 days also coming up. This is kind of moving in the right direction. So I like this stock. It has a nice upslope previously, so I expect something similar. So now that it has pulled back, hopefully it can go. Look at these numbers here. like, $3.85. That's pretty high.
Mhm.
So, I expect continue to see good numbers. Um, I book a trip for next year, 2025, and you know, yeah, people are booking like over 1 year in advance right now, so it's crazy. Um, yeah, so I expect them to do well, and this is, like has been doing much better than the whole market in general, right? Like, look at this trend. Yes, pandemic was the reason it went down a lot, but after that, look at this. It's like doing really good. Next one is booking. So this one, this is like this stock is crazy, right? Because it's price line basically, in home price line, and price line is one of those stocks just over the long term just like never stop going, right? It's just crazy, this stock. And so now it's hitting new high again, and it's running again, and this stock can move 20% more easily. So yeah. Next one's MMYT. So this is the India trip, guys, and right now you can see the trend line is pretty good. The 50-day trend line, 45-degree angle, very strong. This is a long base, right? Like this is a long base, and then you go to the monthly. Yeah, so we have broken out of this long-term chart here. So this is bullish signal, right? So
Mhm.
you know, so now look at how fast it's moving now on the monthly basis. So it's yeah, it's looking really good, and yeah, on the weekly chart it looks superb. Um, but yeah, it's because this is again small cap, right? Anything under 10 billion can be considered small, and it's gonna have more volatility until the market really picks up. Like this guy is like, yeah, this is an India stock for obviously not gonna follow the U.S. index, but at least it's doing pretty good in terms of it's not going down as much, right? But this was the big shakeout right here. I got shaken out here, but look at it right now. It's coming back, right? So all right. The new America Today talks about, can DoorDash keep dishing up what investors crave? So go to Dash for a second. Now this stock, doing pretty good. Like it pulls back again to 50-day. So lots of the growth stocks that pull back recently, if they didn't pull back to 50-day, that's even better. But if they did, usually that's where institution support comes in, and you see that here clearly. Now the volume has been lighter, so um, there's 3 days here that's okay average, but right now, Friday I didn't see the volume, so that's not good. But anyhow, it did mean a new high. Yeah. So let's just jump to Uber because I like Uber more. So Uber also make new high, really strong chart. Um, yeah. Let's see the daily volume here. So also really low volume. So I think, yeah, so this might be a problem, right? Going into earnings, a lot of these stocks are showing much less volume. And so um, this one is a big cap though, so I don't know why there's no volume. That's weird. Yeah. Now there's not much selling either, so it's kind of balanced out. So yeah, Celsius, unfortunately, there's this base here that looks really tight, looks very normal. And you can see this week what happened, right? It came back all the way to 10-week moving average. Now that's exactly also where the 200-day moving average is. So, you know, definitely it's not a good week. So I've been shaken out, but I don't give up on this because I still think this could be a leader. Um, I think there was some bad news, right? That some analysts came out. There's lots of competition on the energy drinks and blah blah blah. But the key is for me is like the numbers, right? And you can see these numbers are so strong. Um, Again, this could be an SMCI stock where it only move on gap ups on news, right? So right now, unfortunately, you can see it broke all the short-term moving averages. The 200 days coming up now, so I expect to see it hasn't gone below the 200 day in a long time. So I expect to see support here, and if it does bounce, and we're starting to see some good action here, some volume, So this fell, obviously this fell. Even you draw the downtrend line, it fell, and so like if you draw the next trend line would be here, right? So to be safe, you probably want to buy above this line, because you don't want to get shaken out again. Um, but yeah, but it's not good. Yeah, right. So there's like as good as the market is right now, like I said, there's lots of stocks getting hit, right? Like Duolingo is another one. I mean, this is a pretty bad week, right? And we were talking about this last week. The technical action looks so bad. It's most likely gonna fall, and exactly it fall hard this day. I think it was down at one point over 10%. I think almost. But it did close at the upper range, and then the next day it didn't move much, and you can see the 10 days starting to catch up, and then now it make new low. You see on Friday. So this is very bearish right now. This is the slope line of the downtrend. So it could keep hitting this line. 200 days coming up. So we already lost support at 50. So the next support line would be 200 day, right? So let's see. Um, I don't know if it will come that far because previously it tested the 200-day line here. It didn't even touch it. Same thing right here. It didn't touch it. So I don't think it will go that far, but this is the previous buy point. So generally they like to test the buy point. So it might undercut this a little bit to see if people set their stop there, right? Um, but but
Yeah.
just because that's the thing, right, about the market. The market, not all stocks go in sync. So some leaders are going to be out of sync and they will come back at some point, and you just have to watch it. SMCI was a good one, right? Like it was out of sync for a long time, and now it came back really strong. So you don't give up on leaders, because these guys ran a lot. They're gonna digest, and it ran up a lot, and it's gonna digest, and then sometime it's gonna come out. So you have to watch them. It's just it will take some time though for it to break this downtrend. So who knows? Maybe earnings is still really far away. So but there's lots of selling. Look at this. I mean, I'm surprised at the amount of selling, right? So so yeah. I mean, there's like I said, there's so many stocks getting hit hard. Like even Palantir is still on a downtrend, although it looks slightly better this week. But see, this is the problem. It's exactly this what looks like Duolingo a week ago. When the
Mm-hmm.
market is going up, why is it just going sideways? Like, where are the people who want to buy this stock? Why is it not going up higher, right? It can't, like, I don't know. This is not looking good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's one, like, that's probably one of my strongest strength right now in terms of my skill set is to look for stocks that are outperforming the market, not underperforming the market. And these guys are underperforming the market. So yeah, Modine is really nice, acting so well. Um, Unfortunately, I got shaken out of this. I haven't got back in yet. Um, yeah, look at this. I mean, this stock is a leader, right? Like, I mean, the big picture is look at the 200-day line. If you draw something like, similar on the 50-day line, it goes similar like this. This is the 50-day. Um, you know, it's pretty strong. and then this is the upper channel line. So it's not like, I mean, okay, I was gonna say it's not a fast move, but it's doing pretty good. Like I mean, let's say it definitely shaking out people here. So let's say this was the last buy point. So yeah, look, it already went way above 20%. So yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
actually move up. The chart looks more flat than it appears to be. So it actually make good gains actually. Yeah. So and yeah, this is very nice move line. It found support right here. This stock, look at how many blue days versus red days, right? Incredible strength. Incredible strength. Um, yeah, this is easy to hold type of stock. Um, yeah, I got shaken out right here by just a little bit, unfortunately. Um, yeah, the other stock that is very similar is VRT. Um, so this is also a strong leader for from a long time. This one has probably a slightly stronger slope, um, but probably a little bit more volatile as well. So it pulled back to 50-day, found support right here, and look at that breakout, strong volume. Look at that, right? I don't know if Modin did that. Let me see. No, Modin was already broken out earlier. Yeah, so there is that strong volume right here. See that? So those guys are definitely being, and the volume, like, not only that, right? If you look at the daily chart, look at this volume. It's pretty high, right? It looks like VRT. The VRT is much lower, only 1 day. So Modin definitely looked a lot more better. Um, but VRT, I mean, this guy, I mean, when it moves, it does move. So, but it definitely doesn't look as smooth as MOD. So, but yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Both of them good stuff. Um, there's other. So PayPal make a huge move on Friday, and then look at the volume rising. Is there any news? I don't know if there's any news, but this look like something is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the only thing I would be cautioned is like last time it broke above 200 day, it fell back down after. So that's the only thing I would worry. Like if it doesn't fall back down, like if it even like it can hold and then make a new high, that would be really bullish. Um, yeah, but yeah, there's some news that must have happened. I didn't follow, so but the numbers look pretty good now, right? Look at this. So yeah, so this stock, I don't know. I play it many times, but it has never worked out for me. I mean, the fundamentals are super strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's the financial sector or what. Like, it hasn't, like, it's very choppy, it's very volatile. Like, I mean, recently it did run, so it is looking much better. So, but it is super choppy. Look at this trying to break out and it fell. But at the same time, it's holding, you see, higher lows, right? So it might just need more time, that's all. It just need more time. So yeah, this is, to me, if you forget about the intraday stuff, like this, if it breaks out, close at the top, and a high volume, that would be super bullish, right? Like that's what I would look for. When that happens, I think that's a good time to get in. And this is, like you said, this is a long base, so you know, so we can do a nice clean breakout, and that's usually, with long base, you should always have a nice clean breakout because it's so obvious, right? It's one of those things, it's just so obvious
Yeah.
on the chart. Everyone sees the same thing. If there's any hesitation, then that means it's not ready. So yeah. So Snow, is building this cup base for a long time. I mean, it looks very similar to four, right? It's just very choppy. Um, I mean, it's not the strongest software stock for sure. It has bounced back recently. Again, having trouble breaking out. This is not a good thing, right? And so it did fall back now. Well, let's look at daily
Mm-hmm.
chart. So the 50 days catching up. So that's the good sign. It hasn't broke it yet. But this week, I would say I'm more disappointed because market is doing, a lot better this week. And look at there's no volume on the up days. Look at those 2 days, right? So yeah, not not as enticing for me for sure. So GitLab, this stock you see it broke out. It moved so fast, make the 20% gain, came back down, found support. Like it didn't really come close to 50 day. So that's a really good sign. And then they found another support here at 10 day, 21 day, and then now is at new high. So this is a nice clean breakout. Look at this whole week. Look at the accumulation. It's all above average. And then even last week, look at the selling wasn't there. So this is exactly what you want to see in the base when it pulls back on lighter volume and it goes up on higher volume. So this is strong. This is strong. I like this chart. And GitLab, like I said, it can move fast. And look at this week, it's up 11%. So yeah, I like this chart. You know, the resistance level is starting to go away. So yeah, it could go fast after this. This is what I'm exciting now. Like honestly, I'm looking at all these charts and you can see even these ones are not making all-time high yet. What I'm excited is that now we're way past the 18-month resistance level from 18 months ago. So and now they're breaking out, and like I say, I will see them breaking out at much faster pace now. Like they're gonna move much faster because the timing, there's not much as overhead supply because most people will have given up by now, and so they will have either sold at like I said at this level, and if we break out now, you can almost like treat this as not. That's what Bill O'Neill does, right? That's why he draw this 18-month line. You can almost treat that like not existing. Like that's too far in the history now. So this you can almost treat this like all-time high kind of thing, right? Like all-time high breakout. So yeah, so this stock like you can see the 50-day line is very strong slope, like 45 for sure, at least 45-degree angle. So we'll see. I like consider this large cap. I mean, the large cap are just so strong. The ones that are working, and this one, again, we're getting closer and closer to the all-time high here. Um, this this look at this chart. I don't know if there's any chart that looks like this. It just keep building base, 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 and then this is a bigger base. Like it likes building base. This is a nice tight weak area, almost like a flat base. Um, this, when they build bases like this and, smaller base, like 14%, 10%. Now, this is probably not your ideal stock you want to like make quick gains. But at the same time, this stock doesn't give up too much. So there's pros and cons. But I like it right now because it's almost near no resistance level, right? And so it looks in the 50-day looks pretty good. Looks like it's trying to see a lot of stocks are looking like this. We have this tight area, and then some of those, a lot of people were shaking out in the recent pullback, and then what happened? We see acceleration. You see the 10-day line. Let me clear this again. This is what's happening in a lot of stocks. We'll see if it follows through. Like a lot of the 10-day now is starting to curve up faster, right? So we'll see. Like I mean, there's good and bad. If it curves up faster, yes. If you're holding it, you make more gains faster. But then it could all come crashing down when it get a little bit too exhausted, right? So I don't know what's gonna happen. Or it could just come back to the 10-day and just kind of slowly ride this ride, right? So those are the two uptrend style you can see. I don't know what the market is gonna do, but a lot of them looks like this right now, where it's just starting to curve upward. So yeah, I don't know which way it's gonna go, honestly. To me, I feel like it makes more sense for it to be just ride the 10-day rather than extend the 10-day. But you never know. Market always, you know, do the do the thing that least people expect, right? So we'll see. So this is the tech industry group. We already talked about some of this here. So ESTC, database, ANET. Let's look at ANET. Because not many people talk about this stock. And I feel like it deserves more attention, which is a good thing. Like I find that stocks that have too much attention always fail, right? But this one doesn't have much attention. But look at what it's doing. So this is riding nicely. Now it formed a upper channel line that is more in a lower channel line that's much steeper slope. And so I like that, right? And not only that, it is the gains are starting to move up faster. You can see. Let's go to weekly. You can see here's the base, and look at the 50-day. It's starting to like kind of slanted slightly upward. So it's accelerating, right? So that gets me excited. And for a long time, I really like this stock because there's a huge story behind this. Like all the big Meta, Microsoft, I think even Amazon are all their customers. This is like the new Cisco, right? So, uh, yeah, I mean, if people are buying chips and people are buying servers like SMCI, someone's going to buy the networking stuff, right? So, you need
Yeah.
networking stuff. So this is definitely a leader in that area, and you know, see the other stock in here is Juniper. I think that one got bought out, right? I believe it got bought out. Did I can't remember. Let me see. See who got cash out. Yeah, see? This guy got bought out. So that I'm surprised ANET didn't jump on that news. Because but maybe it did a little bit, but not as much as I thought. So but yeah, this stock is moving up nicely. It's finally like I mean, look at every week it trade pretty tight. No, not much volatility. It's easy to hold stock. Um, Unfortunately, I don't have a full position yet. I want a full position. I haven't got all of it yet. So yeah. Next one is AMD. Really strong. I mean, it just blew out on the water this week. Like, it was like holding really tight under the. Let's go look at the chart because it just surprised me. Like, it's just one of those stocks that. I mean, it wasn't bad. Like, look at this uptrend. It's not bad. Um, and you go to daily chart. Yeah, this is now curving upward, right? So it's never a good sign when you see the 10-day curving upward. They generally either they go for climax run, or they just that's usually what they do, and then usually they fall back pretty hard. So um, yeah, so that's something to be aware of. But overall, this chart, look at the RS line. I haven't seen one that looked like this sharp ups. It's just like almost vertical. So yeah, but yeah, AMD is really strong. CyberR, Datadog, Frog, GitLab. We just talked about Salesforce. Another big cap. Like I'm really enjoying like the big cap right now. I'm gonna find every way to add to big cap. I feel like that is the best area to be in, just because they're safer. If there's another pullback, they're not gonna fall back as hard as the smaller caps, and it's gonna be much easier to hold. This one looks again. I mean, that's the only part that I'm worried about is the 10 days all curving upward right now. So that means they're extended, right? So, but the chart looks, again, pretty good. It's getting closer and closer again to the all-time high. Of course, you prefer stocks that already hit all-time high, but that's it. But because it's been so long, I mean, you can treat these guys almost like near all-time high. Rico, Manpower, double verified, all hitting new highs, like on the relative strength. Looks like double verified. This is a stock that I feel like a lot of people might have given up. I like it when sometimes people give up on some stocks because, like this. Look at this run right here. That's impressive. And then if
Mm-hmm.
make this correction, now it's starting to move again. So there's this big week. This is a big week for them. So yeah, this is a really big bounce. Like look at this volume. Wow. And look at how tight that day is. So something is happening. So I like the chart really much. This is a nice cup with handle pattern. Look at it. Nice breakout right here. Nice breakout. And follow through on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it. This, let's say, it's definitely a more choppier stock. 6 billion cap. So again, I think this stocks they're not gonna do well until the Russell start moving, and so look at this move right here, November, December, right? So you want to see that kind of performance, we're gonna see Russell move, and who knows, it could be moving. Like that's what I'm hoping for. Um,
Mm-hmm.
next, let's see, next one, CDNS again. Those software design group are doing well. SAP reporting this week. Google, Intel, GCT. Like this one, that's the problem, right? When stocks run fast, they could also fall fast, right? So GCT, ran up pretty fast, came back down. This one is surprisingly holding 10, 21 day. So, but Friday, look at this, right? It reversed. I was watching it in the morning. I was like, oh, it's up. And then by the end of the day, it closed down. So that's really bad, really bad. When the market closed really strong, right? So again, relative strength is hitting new lows right now. So uh, I would beware of this stock right now. I think it most likely will go down lower. Yeah, but it is a strong stock. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. FICO doing well. Qualisys, RAM, TR, PSN, Microsoft, Twilio. Um, Shopify, I don't know, man. Shopify, like it's kind of not acting that strong. So again, this part right here is fine. Pull back, found support, 50-day, moves back up. But this week, I don't know what happened. It's underperforming, right? So yeah, I don't like to see that. This week, stocks shouldn't underperform. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's lots of stocks here, but most of them are, at the top here that are doing well. So that's the tech sector. Uh, I think retail, besides the one we already talked about, RCL, Dash, Manly. Yeah, let's look at Manly because I think Manly did do well this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so pull back and bounce back up. Nice clean breakout on Friday. Look at that volume. This is what excites me. A nice base, a tight base, breakout on volume. Look at this selling right here. 3 days of selling in out of 10 days. Look at that volume. Nobody wants to sell. Um, yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. I mean, this is not all-time high, but at least it's already been over 18 months since the previous high here. So yeah, it could move fast. So that's the next thing I want to see, how fast. That's what I expect now. I expect stocks that break out to move fast. So when we talk about the 10-day moving average curving up, is this gonna be a rally that is like choppy rally, or is this gonna be a rally that's gonna surprise everyone and just like take off?
Mm-hmm.
And um, I don't know. We'll see. But look at these numbers. Oh my God. $1, $2, $3, $5, $7. This is like Amazon type of numbers, man. Like 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is like, I don't know, man. This is strong. This is strong, moving really strong. I think I'm definitely under position here right now. Again, I'm having problems getting into full positions, so hopefully things will get better and I can be in very fast. So let's see. But these are strong stocks. Okay, ANF. Let's see how this guy's doing. Look at this.
Beast.
This is unbelievable stock. Unbelievable. Like I sold out of here because of the upper channel line broke, right? And you can see I've been adding the last 3 weeks, and yeah, I'm at full position right now. Like these numbers are spectacular. So when is it reporting? It's probably soon. Let me see. Okay, so look at this, March 6th. I don't know if that's accurate, because it seems like that's late. But uh, I don't know, man. If it really have another month or so to continue before the earnings, this could continue, man. It's just crazy. This is like the, I don't know. It's so extended, no one even talks about it anymore. But that's the thing, right? Like, it's just like an Energizer bunny. Um, Urban Barn. Okay, Toyota. Every week I gotta look at Toyota because I love this stock. So look at this breakout. Okay, so yeah,
Mhm.
nice clean breakout. Like last week it broke out, but this week it followed through week, right?
Mhm.
So very close to all-time high. Um, yeah, I think this stock still one of the biggest surprise. And this is like big cap, right? So like I say, I want to full position all my big cap right now. That's where I want to lean towards because I just feel like if there's any choppiness happening in the next week or two, I don't want to get shaken out. That's my biggest problem so far this year is I'm getting shaken out on the smaller cap stuff. But the bigger caps, they move, nice and easy and can hold. And this one did not move slow. This guy is moving really fast. Like this is a crazy slope right now. But still, like, um, but yeah, let's see. I like Toyota. Other than that, I mean, most of them are not doing that well in this area. Okay, let's look at Netflix. Netflix. Okay, so this one didn't move as much as it should this week. So that's underperforming. I don't know why. Um, yeah. So I don't know why it's not performing as well. The other stock that I always like is Race. So this
Mhm.
guy, yeah, it closed at the top, but it didn't participate in the rally this week. So that's also not a good sign. So yeah, the retail like hasn't really performed as well as I hope. So that's a problem. So I think yeah, so at least for this week it hasn't. Let's go to industrial. I think we already looked at some, just see if anything we're missing. Um, yeah, not much missing. I think we talked most of them. Nothing really stand out this week for me on the industrial side. Um, okay, let's go to health. So health, I don't know. Like, okay, ISRG, I missed this big time. Let's talk about that one. Like, it broke out, and this is the first cup handle. This is the recent pullback, and it gap up on this, and I didn't buy it. Unfortunately, I should have. And look at it now. The slope of this 10-day is so strong, and it's already 18% from here. But the slope is just really what intrigued me the most. And
Mhm.
when this stock breaks out, it tend to run. So like yeah, and it is running, and so look at this 50-day moving average. That's fast, man. So that's good, and look at this volume, like all this blue volume here, and then the downward volume so low. This might have a lot of room to run. Like the numbers are look good. Um, yeah, unfortunately, I missed this one. But all the other ones, like I say, they're not doing that well. Lily didn't participate this week. I don't know why. So let me go look at daily chart. Yeah, see RS ratings going down. It did find support at 21 days, so that's the only good part about this week. But other than that, it didn't participate. Even Friday is a very weak bounce back on the
Mm-hmm.
volume side. MBO. I mean, they're not doing bad, right? Like they're just not going up, right? They're just kind of. It's almost like they're building a flat base right now. Yeah. So very interesting. Very interesting. Like, I mean, they performed so well on the first few days of the year, and then it kind of just sizzle and went sideways. So I don't know, but it's like I say, it's not doing bad or anything. It's just almost like it's just taking a break. Some of the ones that kind of do better or maybe okay, ITGR. Let's see. Yeah, this one is okay. Slowly moving up. Regeneron. This one is pretty good slope. BSX. Yeah, this one is also a pretty good slope. What's the next one? SYK. This one is, I think this one came out this week. Yeah, so it came out from this long base. So it almost remind like again similar to ISRG. So I like it. Striker. So anyhow, the health is like I said taking a backseat so far. This week. So um, yeah, it hasn't performed as well as it's not running. That's for sure. Um, Commodities, really not much going on. Let's look at NXT and Weatherford. Look at those two. NXT, there's some volume here on this bounce on Friday. You can see this base. I wouldn't trust this bounce until at least probably close above this like previous buy point. That would be probably better. Um, Weatherford. So Weatherford make also similar bouncing back. But again, I don't know if the oil stuff will move much. So they seem like it's kind of. Let's look at LPG. I haven't looked at this in a while. LPG, same thing. See, hasn't really moved much. So yeah, not much action. Let's look at financial. So there's some earnings news this week, right? Like Traveler yesterday, huge move, huge move. Like this is now I don't like it's still a breakout from this base, but it is extended because it's so far away from the 10-day. But what I like about this is just the volume. It's a tremendous volume, the highest volume like in a long time. So whenever they break out on high volume like that, like I like it, right? Like that's usually a good sign. Like SMCI kind of thing. But short term probably might be a small pullback. But look at this number here, like $7. This is why it moves so much. It's like SMCI kind of numbers, right? Like it's just crazy beat. And so financials doing well. Like I said, there's some that are starting to show strength. They obviously they've been lagging. You can see the RS line like lagging, and then now it's like super strong slope. So we'll see if whether financial will continue to grow and expand. But this is one of them. Chubbs, CB, Chubbs, also insurance. So this one also came out on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, yeah, nice clean breakout. Volume is there. Look at the selling volume. Look at that. There's no volume. Buyings are increasing. Like this is healthy signs on the technical picture. Um, you know, it might not be a fast movers like Traveler, Chubb, but they might be like I hope there will be like more, like kind of like 35-degree angle slope, easy to hold type of stock. Let's see. Um, because yeah, we already talked about four. Let's look at AGO, another insurance. So insurance is definitely doing well right now. So this one is so tight. Look at this week to week. It's so tight. And then this week it is 3 week tight, and then boom, it came out. So again, no one wants to sell these stocks. Like the insurance group are doing really good. HONE. So this one is a strong slope. Look at the red line, 45-degree angle, 10-week moving average. It came out again almost near all-time high. So nice clean breakout. Volume's not bad, average. More buying volume recently than selling. So looks good. Nice tight base. Yeah. So I again, this one, definitely looks have more growth potential. Okay, so actually at new high. Yeah. Look at this run here. Wow. So okay, looks good. So these are all new names on my list. Affirm. Let's say Affirm. So this one I think corrected quite a bit. Still on the downtrend. The 50 days coming back up. So I don't know if we need more time. We'll see how it reacts around the 50-day. Yeah, because it was a big gain, $27 here, 52, like almost double, right, in a short time period. And so it might take a longer time to build a base, So usually when the stock double, it takes a longer time. So, but the volume looks really amazing. Look at this. It's like starting to like getting lower and lower. And whenever it does that, we usually can see a big move. If it does, we see a big move, I think there's a high chance. But like I said, because it already double, it might take longer time. Like it could still be choppy. Let's affirm. AIG. Yeah, we need to look at AIG. So this one also bounced on Friday on higher volume. So, and again, insurance group, right? So the insurance are doing so well. I don't know what's happening with them, but they're doing so well. They're all at new highs too, right? Look at that. So like, I mean, when you look at this versus the tax, like we saw, right? Like, a lot of them are still not even all-time high yet. Whereas these guys, they're at all-time high. Like, well, this one is different because of the financial crisis. But anyhow, if you count from here, it's like, all-time high. So, yeah. So this, I don't know. Something is happening. When we talk about like the 10-day moving average curving up, and that's the thing, that's what can happen. As it curves up, it accelerate, and it's good time to take profit for sure when you see a 10-day accelerate up. And you might not want to sell all of it at once because you don't know how fast it will go up. Because sometimes, like in this case, obviously crypto stuff are more volatile and could move much more. If you're holding a stock like the insurance stock we just talked about, it's unlikely they'll move at that pace. But yeah, whenever you see like a tech stock move really, any stock move that fast, generally it's good time to think about taking profit, right? That's like pure like Mark Minervini style sell into strength kind of thing. And then when it crash, it usually doesn't come straight down. It will fool you a few times, thinking that hey, it's bouncing back, and you might add more shares and stuff, and then
Yeah.
and then you get killed. So, like this is, I mean, if some not everyone bought it down here. A lot of people probably bought it after this buy point, and look at where it is now, right? So, below the 50-day, I'm surprised it even went below 50-day. So 200-day right here. Yeah, not good. obviously you might eventually find a bounce. Like I would expect it to find a bounce around at least the 200-day. So MSTR, similar story, same thing, below 50-day. Not sure if we'll hit 200-day. Looks like it found some support so far, right, at this level, which is almost near the previous buy point right here. So, but the longer it doesn't bounce back, it's probably going to go down because the 10-day is catching up right now, and yeah. So this is on again strictly downtrend. Stay away from it until it clears at least the downtrend. uh, yeah, and obviously we all know like Bitcoin has gone back down. Not a lot, but I think it was at 40 last time I checked. Might be under 40, I don't know. So Friday it did bounce back a little bit. Um, so yeah, we again see this is the upper channel line, right? On GBTC, probably similar to like Bitcoin. So it broke, when you have a upper channel line broken, it's always a good idea to take profit. You can see the 10-day coming up right here really fast. Good time to take profit. Always think of taking some profit. And then, because, those times usually give you a better chance to buy it back cheaper, even if you want to be longer term. And yeah.